Hello and welcome to a product placement spotlight. Today we're going to be talking with Guidance Whiskey. They have been a product placement partner for the last couple of films, and we're going to be talking to Jason Riddle, who is the founder and the owner of Guidance Whiskey. Hello, sir. How you doing today?
Man, fantastic. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I can't complain. I had some technical issues trying to work out, trying to be fancy and everything. And
I see. Getting better. You get better every time.
man, I'm trying over here. I'm trying. I'm 100% trying. So we're going to talk a little bit today about product placement spotlight. This is going to be rebroadcast on YouTube and on Instagram Live and Facebook now, but it'll be live on rebroadcast on YouTube later on today. When I talk to brands and I talk to them about the things they've done, I know you just didn't wake up one day and decide that you wanted to start making whiskey. You might like to drink whiskey, but that's not something that you might want to do. So I do want to spend some time with you and talking about, how you started the brand, why you started the brand, and what the brand's with. So let's just kind of start off with what the brand means to you and why did you start it?
Yeah, man. So, what the brand means to me now is not what it meant when I started it. And I don't know. Me and you talk extensively about stuff exactly like that, like the journey, not, starting out one way for one reason and hitting bumps and challenges that change your course. Also, meeting people who encourage you and help you that change your course. So, what guidance stands is now is the motto is infinite wisdom that enables excellence. We can learn a lot from the past, but we can learn a lot from each other. And it didn't start out that way. It started out is we didn't have a whiskey brand. It was an empty space for minorities, and I got tired of drinking stuff and acting like I like it when I really didn't like it. So it really started out as a hey, I think I can do this. What it changed into is my responsibility to not just help my brand grow, but to help other brands and help get other people interested in this industry because minorities only represent 3%, less than 3% of the spirits industry currently.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what was it about what you didn't like about the whiskeys outside of it not being something opera? What did that you didn't like about
I didn't like it burning a hole in my throat. Like straight up, like
it?
and then some people they love that now and they've grown to that, and that's okay. And there's some higher proof, in older age things that I enjoy, but I have a more developed palate now. But at that time when I was starting guidance, I was drinking things that were high proof and big age, and they were nasty to me. But I was lying and saying that I liked it, and that bothered me because I didn't want to seem out of place, right? So I'm like, oh, I can taste the oak, and I can taste it, and I couldn't taste nothing because my throat was on fire. So I wanted actually something that tastes good, something I could sip, something I can enjoy, and that's how we came up with the product that we have.
Okay. So I know it's a small batch product. Is that correct?
Correct.
Could you explain like that process? What that means, and what is the process of making it?
Yeah. So for us, looking at our mash bill over time, we've changed it a few times, but we produce less than 10,000 cases a year currently, right? So if you look at some of the big batch, like the Jacks and Jamesons and stuff, they're producing hundreds of thousands of units, right? And so that blend of their stuff, they put it all together. Ours is mostly we use only a couple barrels to make our runs, and so small batch whiskey for me is more like a gourmet dinner, right? As opposed to going to a chain. Like we get to take our time with some things. We get to experiment a little bit. Like on this newest batch, we added a little more wheat to it, which rounds off the taste really, really good. Next time I might take some wheat out, add more rye. I can do whatever I want.
Okay. Okay. So we often have talked about tradition and family and how it's important to do things like this, for to move, leave, things to your family. Can you kind of a little bit talk about that? What this means, what guidance means to you and relates to family?
Yeah, for sure. We I didn't have anybody to tell me how to do this. My kids do that. My children are growing up being in a family that owns a whiskey brand. My
Hmm.
4-year-old has never tasted guidance, but she can recognize it, and she smelled it before. And she's been in the distillery. She's helped move barrels. She's helped pack up boxes. So her life will be engulfed in this. Now, whether she chooses to go, this as choose this as what she wants to do long term, it'll be a part of her. So it'd be for my sons. So encouraging them that they can take a chance to do whatever they want, and then work it, and bring more people with them. I think that they've seen that now, so they can't unsee it. And to me, that is one of the legacy of guidance is more than just the bottle. It's actually what it leaves inside of people, and that's the most important part for me, for my family, right? Is what my family, my kids, my mom, my friends have been able to be by the thing that we've all done together.
Okay. Okay. Now you said that one of the things that made you want to start guidance was the fact that it was we didn't as African Americans there wasn't a space for us. There was no one doing that. What type of obstacles or things when you decided like you gonna make it our create this opportunity? What things did you encounter when you first initially started this brand?
Yeah, there was a lot of there's that this industry is very protected at the time that I started. Um, and it wasn't just as simple as it is to call up a distillery and say, "Hey, I want to make a product." Um, Questions like, "Who are you and what do you do? Are you a rapper? Are you an actor?" Like I was met with all kinds of things like that. And then even after I had the product, going to stores and managers and owners not even willing to talk to us, not even willing to distributors not returning, not even wanting to set meetings with us. Um, then if you take the pandemic, you take bottle shortages, you take barrel shortages. You take your distributor getting sold to a bigger distributor. So there's all kinds of things that we've gone through and weathered, that I think just makes us a better brand and a more storied brand because we survived.
Okay. All right. So I know we've had extensive conversation, a lot of questions on reacts stuff to me and you've talked about. But I know at some point you decided to, because of the struggles you went to, you started to work with other black brands in the liquor industry. How has that
Yes,
journey?
man, it's been amazing. So we created the Tennessee Minority Owned Wine and Spirits Association. Um, I think we might be the first association around minority spirits in the country. Um, and that has been a dream, man. Getting to know other brand owners, seeing their struggles, hearing their stories, and then coming up with solutions for those things. Um, we are we're in contact with lobbyists now to get laws changed around the industry. We're definitely into a lot of we're doing stuff with sports arenas and getting them to change the laws where they only bring in certain products, right? Because representation on the field is one thing, representation in the stands is one thing, representation in concession is another thing, right? And if those
Yeah.
places are built with taxpayer dollars, then we would like to see representation in all of those things, which is
Mhm.
the distribution of money and wealth, right?
Mhm. So because this is a black brand and it's made from the mindset of somebody being black and what they you feel like the weed would be into. What kind of response you get from consumers when you tell them that it's a black brand?
Um, I Let me see. A lot of times when they drink it, they see me, so so they know But I have gotten, do you work for this company? Do you work for, what's your affiliation? And I haven't seen a lot of surprise. I've seen a lot of people be proud.
Hmm.
I've seen that reaction, especially from black people, and
Hmm.
especially from black people who really consider themselves connoisseurs now of whiskey and bourbon. They're like, wow, to have somebody in this space with a premium product, they enjoy that. They like that, and they can't wait to show it off. And so we like that.
Okay. Okay. So when you look toward the future, I know you're trying to, help the other brands. You're trying to help people have a different mindset about, us being in this space. What do you look at yourself as far as expanded? I know you focus on whiskey, but what other kind of products does guidance, either expanded or
Yeah,
what you're now?
yeah. We have some things that now we're laying down barrels. So we'll have some older products. We'll have a couple of higher proof things. Ready to drink is where we're going next. We had some success with our tippers, which we tried out last year, which is our canned cocktail. But we have something called whisk tea, which is a mix of guidance, whiskey, and Southern tea, which you know
Mhm.
well. You've
Yes.
used them as well
Uh,
in your movies. Y'all probably drunk all the bottles before they made it because it's so good. But
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. It's hard to keep it. That's
yeah,
a hard thing. That's
it's tough to keep it. So it's tough to keep it. I understand, but it is phenomenal, and we're partnering with them to do a ready to drink that hopefully we'll have out later in the summer.
okay. Okay. All right. So when people think about your brand, what is it that you want them to understand? What is it that you see, want them to get like the feeling? Like when you look at most iconic brands, you look at Seagram and you look at the other whiskey brands, people
Yeah,
usually have an idea about it. What is it that you want people to feel or think about your brand?
I want them to feel like it's homecoming. Um, Pop up a bottle, talk to your friends. If you hadn't checked on your friends in a while, call them. Get some people over, grill. If you're going through something, sit your homie down, pop a bottle, talk to him, or you and your lady relaxing for a nice night in. We want to be ingrained in the fabric of the community. Like we want to be your favorite whiskey brand,
Mhm.
and that's even if you don't drink whiskey or even
Mhm.
if you don't drink at all. And that's
Mhm.
why doing this stuff with y'all is so important, man. Y'all putting us in the movies and showcasing us is so important because that shows something that we've never had.
Yeah.
We've seen your movies. We haven't seen many black products in there
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And you make that you take the position of that's what it has to be for your films, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, I had I mean I've shared this with you, but I will share to the audience who have not heard me tell the story. It was a couple of around during the pandemic, and I most of the time when we ever do product placement, we usually go to an agency, and the product placement agency usually find people who actually pretty much just pay the fee. Whoever can pay the fee, that's pretty much what we would use. But I thought one day that I wanted to be a little more intentional with that, and I went to look for black brands who have really good products, strong social media, and really something viable that that people can use either service or product. And so we start to look for black brands such as yourself to do that. 100% of all the product placements we do are all with black brands. I don't only use people of color. If it's a person of color, I will work with them. And to me, it's a little bit more than just finding people to pay the fee. It's about creating something bigger. A lot of times people, as an independent filmmaker, a product placement, is usually a good source of income to run the movie. But that's not really my intention. My intention is try to build with brands so they can kind of grow. And so when they grow and they get bigger and they get a wider audience, then we can come back and get the bigger fee. But
Yep,
at this
yep,
moment,
yep.
we're
Yeah,
trying to grow.
that's
We're
right.
trying to grow with you. We're trying to get you to a point and exposure. And I think with anything else, with your brand and other brands, I think it's just the opportunity people are actually just trying it and looking at something outside
Right.
of what they normally would do. It's a viable product. If you're going to spend your money, back in the day, the black dollar would circulate multiple times. It don't really do that anymore. But if you're going to spend, you're going to buy whiskey, you're going to buy clothes or whatever case may be. Why not be, a product that's just as good as any other product? Why not use that? And so a lot of times I think that in our community, we feel like powerless, but we have a lot of power with our dollars, with our words, and how we present ourselves. We have a lot of power and control. And if we really understood our power, then we probably would do more things that made sense in our community instead of going and getting out. I remember when I was younger, living in Chicago. I remember when they got a Home Depot in our neighborhood, and I was like, "Wow, we got a Home Depot." Not really thinking about it as an adult. Before Home Depot was there, that was this guy. He had this store. He would sell wood and everything. Eventually, he went out of business, and I didn't think too much about it. Home Depot is selling nails for a dime. This guy was probably selling for 25 cents, and he just couldn't compete with them. He couldn't compete with them, and so he went out of business. And people's like, "Oh, well, I'm getting it for a dime." I said, that 15 cents is going back into the community. Although you're paying a little bit more, you're supporting his family, you're supporting other people who work there, who have been there for years, and other projects and things that he might donate to the Boys and Girls Club, to softball team. All those things come from things in our community. And I think sometimes because of access to things, we forget that those things are empowers, because they're going to take that money. Nothing against Home Depot, but they'll take that money and then go to another community. It won't go back to our community. Even if they're giving some things, to it, it will go other places. So we have to learn to try to support our own locally and also people of color, so we could, understand our
Man,
power and it could work for us.
yeah, that's big, man. And the bottom line sometimes isn't the real indicator. Um, I mean, you don't get into whiskey or spirits to make. I mean, you want to make money. It's not something that comes fast, and that doesn't matter who you are. Like, it's not something that comes fast because the margins on the product are so low. So you have to sell a lot of it to make a financial dent. So the people that you see that do this, they do it for a very different reason. They do it for a very different reason. They're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, yeah. So what I do want to talk a little bit about Ebony Hustle, but as before we get started talking about Ebony Hustle, what are some things that you want once we leave this live? What are some things you want people to know about your brand?
I want them to know that we are a Nashville-based brand, and it's one of the most wonderful cities in the country. If you haven't been here yet, you need to come see us and tag us and let us know when you're coming, because we would love to host you. We throw some of the best events and parties and places for people to get to know each other and expand through ideas and communication and collaboration. We do make an amazing tasting product. Um, and yeah, we want you to know that if you don't drink it, we will. That was the first. We made something that we really, really like and enjoy. And I think in art, in any type of art, any type of artist and product, that's what you should do. And we follow that. So that's what we want you to know.
So let's talk a little bit about Ebony Hustle. So first, I want to say this. Whenever I do these lives and I talk to people that partner with me, I'm always humble and thankful of your partnership. I know I sent you that message probably initially. What would you think in your mind when I sent you initially the first message when we start connect? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was like, okay, this seemed cool, but I know there's gonna be like, because we got asked to be, we got approached to be in a movie that had The Rock in it, and they were like, yeah, we can put your product in. We want $250,000. And I couldn't type all the HAHA in that. But after talking to you, man, and then understanding your intentionality, I was really blown away. And then I started thinking, okay, I got to get everybody with you. I got to get as many people as I can with you, because you are doing something special and you're doing something meaningful. And it's an experience that a lot of people don't get to see. Like, we see our product on the movies, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. I'm going to, if I can technically get this, I'm going to show the trailer for Ebony Hustle 2, and then we're going to talk a little bit about that and your president. So let me share my screen.
When that time, I take out my teeth. That's on my mama.
Let me pop the trunk.
These pills to get stuck.
Okay.
Welcome to the 2023 Global Mixed Gender Basketball Combine.
This year's GMGB Combine could go down as one of the most exciting in league history.
It's been quite some time since a highly anticipated player such as Matt Pendleton entered the Combine. Let's go, baby! Good job, baby! I don't think he should be taking those pills. It's messing him up.
I told you about what? Pills. I need you to stay out of my business and out of Matt's life.
What?
You'll be the first to know.
New case? Girl, maybe if she don't work my nerves before the sun comes up again. This crazy ass girl with 3 kids want me to help her find her baby daddy and serve him with some papers for his maternity test. Apparently,
Since when you serve papers and shit?
Lady, why do you keep coming after me? What do you want?
So she got money to give you, but got her hand down with me all the time. See, that's that bullshit.
Goddamn Howard! What are you doing here?
Deborah, I mean, we were once friends, right?
Operative word is were.
I need better cases.
Okay, so that was the trailer for Ebony Hustle Ballistic Protection, which is available streaming on. Hold on a second, I think I lost him. Did I lose you? I think I did. Yeah, I think we lost Jason. But that was Ebony Hustle Ballistic Protection, which is available on Tubi, Amazon, Sling, and Hoopla. It will be on Peacock really soon. Oh, here we go. I think we lost the signal. Hold on. I think we lost you for a second there. Can you hear me,
just a little bit.
Okay. All right. I was just telling everybody where Ebony Hustle Ballistic Protection is. We've done a couple of movies together. The first one was obviously Ebony Hustle, the first one, which we did, which is in the trailer. If you look at the trailer for Ebony Hustle, you'll see Guidance Whiskey right in the trailer. The second one, what we did was it was based around a basketball combine, and the basketball broadcast event was sponsored by Guidance Whiskey, just like any other broadcast panel was. And then we put you in a movie that hasn't come out yet, which will be coming out later today. It's False Prophets with Adina Howard. Would come out probably later sometime this year. And so I'm hoping to. Oh, and also the movie that I just shot. I just shot last week at New York, Balanced. You are in that. And so there's some other projects I'm going to talk to you about, but that has been the extent of our relationship, and I'm really looking forward to the other things we do together. I'm looking for some other projects that I'm doing that I know that you will fit right into it, and to try to really get the Guidance name out there, and to really get people to give it a look like it should be.
We appreciate that so much. The intentionality you show, it's crazy, man, and I think that you're gonna be. You're a trailblazer. We're going to give you your flowers now and tell you thank you. But I know years from now, when they bring up your name in this regard, being the first person to consistently use minority products in your films, man, it's going to be
Well, I thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate getting my flowers now, but you know, it always got to be somebody else, somebody to do it first. And so I'm hoping that not just myself do it, but other Black filmmakers, other filmmakers of color, and just other people in general look for some of the other brands who are not the big known brands, but who can do the same thing. I mean, if you have a scene where you need to give liquor, somebody drinking whiskey, whatever case may be, why couldn't it be guidance? Why not? You know, and so it's one of those things like now with if filmmaking when they're doing casting, they're starting to cast people of color that traditionally wouldn't be in those roles because the question is why not? So there's no reason why you can't use guys. No reason why we can't use Pro Black Health or some of the other brands I work with. Why not? And so when people understand that and take it as why not using it, I think that the doors will open up and a lot of opportunities will persist.
I agree.
All right. So we're going to have when this live ends, there's going to be Instagram posts where there's going to be a question about Guidance Whiskey and Ebony Hustle 2. And if you answer that question, you'll get a prize pack from Guidance Whiskey. They'll send some t-shirts and some other things that'll be in the prize pack. Just click on it, click on the link, answer the question, and you have an opportunity to win a prize pack. So if you have any other, did you want to add anything till we end this?
If you haven't seen Ebony Hustle 2 or Ebony Hustle 1, make sure you go see them. Like, I hope there's going to be an Ebony Hustle 3, hint, hint.
Oh, we're working on it. Honestly, we are working on it. So yeah, it definitely, that is something that we all plan on doing. And I think the Ebony Hustle 3 is going to be quite different from Ebony Hustle 1 and 2.
Oh
so
my
I
God.
think that would get people's attention. Like when I say different, it'll be very different. And I think it'll get people's attention more than what they actually, think it will do. So from that, as always, I tell people stay focused and determined. Do you want to tell people how to reach Guidance Whiskey?
Yeah, we are Guidance Whiskey on all platforms. So give us a follow. We do a ton of events all around the country. And stop in to see us and let us know when you're in Nashville.
Okay. All right, everybody. As always, stay focused and determined. And you can reach me on all platforms, John Wayne S. III. And I look forward to talking to you soon. And thank you for support.
All right, brother. Peace, man.
All right, peace.